And in a matter of 12 minutes, you had like 4,000 views or something. It was like astronomical. Holy cow. Good for you. But so, all right, let's go back.
Okay.
Let's go back. We'll go somewhat chronological.
Okay.
You just tell me what I want, because I didn't know. You graduated college.
I did.
6 years, right? Or
Five.
5
years.
You went 5 years and stayed that extra year for the business school, the music business school.
Yes.
How's that working?
It was great. It was really cool. I got to learn a lot. There were a lot of college showcases that I did, which was kind of interesting because I hadn't really ever done stuff like that prior to college, obviously. But it was really nice to just connect with a bunch of students who were also in that major who love music and were performers and artists and songwriters, and being able to collaborate and get feedback from other people that are kind of doing the same thing that you are was really helpful. And it was really nice, and we had a little community, and it was just very warm and pleasant. I'm still friends with a lot of those people now. After graduating, we still hang out all the time. So it's great.
Nice. Now you had interned at Epic Records, right?
Yes.
How was that?
That was last summer. It was the coolest thing ever. It looks great on my resume, which is great. But it was a lot of fun. I learned a lot about record labels that I didn't know before. A lot about what goes into a release, and I was working in the radio promotions department. But you find out so much about streaming and radio play and all the numbers and the spreadsheets, and there's so much, and it's crazy to keep track of. So I have a new respect for major labels that I didn't before, just with all of the departments and all of the millions of people that are doing like a bunch of different things to make an artist's release happen. And it's just for like a simple, but there's so much work that goes into it. So
Did you get a chance to talk with any of art people that were part of the radio?
no, unfortunately I wasn't in that department, so I really only got to see people in release planning and in radio promotions.
You did
But
bump into them in the park across the street, couldn't trip them?
no, I couldn't. But one time after work, I was leaving, and there's a little park right across the street, and I was crossing, and there was a crowd forming around this woman, and I couldn't figure out who it was, but I looked at her, I was like, I know this lady, I don't know where I know her from, but I've seen her before, and it hit me after I'd already left, and was like, disregarding this crowd, that it was, but she's an actress on SNL. She's a comedian.
Okay.
And I watch it all the time and was like, oh my God, oh, wow, I should have stopped and come over there. Got their autograph.
How appropriate then that the Beehive Queen called the program.
Yeah.
From Saturday Night Live.
Very serendipitous.
All right, so you make, now you graduate college,
Yes.
and you're still doing these original/cover.
Mostly covers. It used to be original music when I first started out trying to make a name for myself. I was doing open mics, and I was doing like my songs, and I was doing like a cover or two, throwing that in there, but it was all my stuff, and I focused a lot on songwriting. And then as I got older, I started doing more like winery shows and restaurants and bars, and it's a fun thing to do, and it is nice playing in front of an audience because I'm a singer and I love to sing, but I love to write. I'm a writer and a performer, and I like being able to put on a show with the songs that I've written. So I got tired of another life.
Well, it's funny because, and I mean ha-ha funny, not off in this case. When you were that, what were you, like 3 days old when I met you or something?
Yes, that's correct.
But when you were doing those originals, I remember the first time you came on this program, you said you wrote some of the songs in English class,
Yeah.
in history class.
Yeah, everything but class. That's what I was doing.
And, when you did this, you had some songs in there about vengeful shots and things like that.
Yeah.
And then you go to college and your music starts to move on. Now you're not 16.
Yeah.
things happen. Tattoos.
Yeah. I look not the same at all.
I know, and blue hair.
I have blue
So
hair.
you've made this total change and transformation.
Yeah.
So to speak.
Wow, I guess so. Before I left, I was
You were Sophia Nicole when I met you. Now you're Soph.
aggressive.
Aggressive.
Yes,
SOF.
it's my mating form.
Okay.
No. I'm
No,
not gonna be aggressive.
no, I know you want to be, you want to be mature. You want to have a more mature sound and
Yes.
things, and which you do
Thank you.
based on material that you sent me. Come to think of it, she sent me this great new music. We're going to debut it on this program, and we had internet issues that night.
Oh,
So then I took it to a fire pit. I said, oh, we're going to debut it here. We had issues that night. Jocko's internet crashed.
So,
There's an internet.
yeah, I was thinking the same thing actually when I walked in. And he was like, yeah, the computer's been down. I was like, it's me. I did this. I cursed you.
Nah, that's all right. We always overcome. We
Yes.
figure out a way to do that. Actually, we can place it soon. Art returns, whatever it is. Place the music soon. Okay. Might have to do it.
No, I can totally, I can play it from my phone and I can also sing it live. I can't prepare.
Good. That's more than I had. Always. So you made all these changes, but the most recent is to go.
Yes.
So it's come full circle.
You know,
Because when I first met you, as you said, it's what you were doing. It's- First of all, I want to say hello to your mom and dad,
I'm not again.
Helen, Isabel, your brother, if he's the rest of you. You know,
Probably are.
they know I love them. Well, they're not listening. Well, they have to YouTube, actually. So they might be listening.
If they're not watching on here, then they're definitely on
YouTube?
Facebook or, yeah, something.
Once again, we are not live on the air this evening, on the radio side, but we are on YouTube. We're also on my Facebook page, and my personal page. We're on Soph's Instagram at what's your Instagram?
It's at Soph, S-O-F, Music Official.
At Soph Music Official. My Facebook page is Danny Coleman. We're also on the City of Angels Facebook page. And we're on the YouTube. So if you go to the coaradio.com website and click on that, you will be able to watch the shows. So take me through it before we get to something. What made you say, you know what, I'm tired of playing cover? I mean, you know you got my support. You know how I feel about that.
Yeah, I do.
But then again, you could hang it upside down for light fiction. You got so because you're like my daughter, you know. I sometimes I'm closer to you than my daughter. But you know, you made this decision, which essentially, I don't want to say you cut off your nose to spite your face, because that's not the case. But what you did was you eliminated all your paying gigs,
But,
for the most part.
yeah,
Because we know original artists have to struggle and scratch and claw for everything that they get when they get it. So, how long did it take? What did you do? Did you like, yes, no?
I had been mulling over this decision for several years.
Oh, wow, that was all.
Yeah. When I first started playing cover gigs, I felt as though it was a way to make some money on the side. I mistook it for exposure because when I first got booked, I wasn't looking for payment, and then I was told, you know, you get paid a certain amount for playing this show at this restaurant, and you play here for an hour and a half, and we'll pay you $100. And I was like, wow. So I get to play a show, and I'll get paid for it. And I was like, well, I have to learn a bunch of covers because if I'm playing in a restaurant, people are going to want their covers. So I just kind of fell into it, and it was working out really great because I was making money while I was at school, and I had money for groceries and like to save up. And I managed to save up over the years, and it was really helpful in that regard. But as I was doing it, I realized a couple of years in that there was this like empty feeling that I had about music, and I wasn't able to write and I wasn't able to like do anything original that I felt like motivated to do. I didn't want to sit down anymore and do music. I wasn't excited about music. And I would go to these shows and I'd play at these restaurants and bars or whatever have you. And I would be there and like an hour in, I'd already be like, and it kind of struck me as weird that the one thing I want to do in my life is to make music and to perform and be a singer and a songwriter. And I was performing live and I was hating it. And I would tell my parents about it and they were like, well, you know, music's not always going to feel like, you know, the best thing in the world is going to be a job because you want to make your career. And I understood that. But it kind of just, it hit me that if I continued doing songs by other people and I wasn't getting the opportunity to be an original artist and explore the sounds that I wanted to create, that I would only sink further and further into this like cover lifestyle. And that's not what I personally want. I don't think that it's the wrong thing to do if you're an artist, but for me, it felt very draining and I was just tired of doing it. And I thought about it for a few years because I needed the money. I didn't know what else I'd do. I didn't have like a regular job, you know, when I was younger or teenager, like other kids in school did. Other kids in school work at the mall or they were, you know, working at a pizza store, they delivery driving, you know, and I was playing gigs and I didn't have anything on my resume except for gigs. So I was like, oh, I can't quit this now. And finally, the last year happened where I released all of my music. And I was playing all of these shows afterward that were at restaurants and wineries. And I was realizing that I wasn't actually getting the chance to show off the music that I had written that was out.
Right, promote what you released.
Yeah, not at all. And I would play a couple of shows here and there that were original shows, but because I was playing shows like 2 to 3 times a week, nobody was coming out to see me anymore because I've been at this same winery for the last 4 weeks in a row, and I've been at this same restaurant for the last, 2 months, and I'm playing all of these shows, and everybody goes, well, I can see so whenever, because she's always playing shows. And it was it was a moment of like, oh, bummer. Like, if I really need to have a showcase and show off new material and I want to have a big event, I'm not going to have any draw because everyone's going to be like, well, Steph always plays shows, so I'll just come to her next one. I can't make it for this one, but I won't clear my schedule because I'm better for this date.
In the 10-piece band that I'm in, people said, why don't you guys play more? Well, first of all, there's no bars, no restaurants in this area that can hold a 10-piece band unless you rent the room that they have banquets in.
Yeah.
And the other thing, which we have no problem selling those out, but if you're going to do that, and you're going to do that, for us, we'd rather play once every 5 or 6 weeks to 2 months and make sure we got 4, 5, 6, 700 people or more than play every week. And as you said, suffer with, in your case, we could call sofa load. Sofa overload,
That's better.
Sofa load.
But the overload has
Little things. How did you do that, by the way?
I'll show you. It's a keyboard shortcut. You can do it on your phone, on your laptop.
You have to show me.
I will.
I couldn't figure it out.
Yeah, I know.
And your photographer, whoever has your profile picture, didn't allow me to save it. When you click on it, when you right click on it, it won't let you save it. It won't let you copy the I don't know. So I couldn't even, I had to dig back and get a photo of when your hair was. But I see you fixed it.
Oh, I don't know. I fixed it, but also, I think I did that. I don't know how I did it, but I will.
Okay.
My photographer is not to blame.
All right, we'll let that go. You've actually got people calling you.
Yeah.
Photographs.
Yeah, it's great. No, but I have a lot of friends that do a lot of freelance work, and they will call me every now and then if they need a model for like a concept shoot, and it ends up working out because they can post the pictures and have that for their portfolio, and I can use the pictures for social media stuff.
Great.
Yeah. That's it.
Okay, so why don't we do some music?
Sure.
We'll let you do it live since ours followed up by church apparently. I
All right.
think we got it.
Yeah.
While you're doing that, I'm gonna say two things while Soph is getting her guitar. First off, there's a show as we speak going on at the Stone Pony in Asbury Park. The WAG is celebrating their 20th anniversary. Brian and Alicia are great. Never mind, we'll stay there. Brian and Alicia are great, fantastic people, and Don Lee. And it's 20 years of the WAG. They asked me to do a video, which you can see on their Facebook site, where I discuss, I'm part of the Made the Montage, talking about 20 years of the WAG. They're having a CD release and everything this evening at the Stone Pony in Asbury Park. So I think the show is started about a half hour ago. So if you're in that area, we'll pop in and check it out. I want to congratulate them on being together for 20 years. Well, Brian and Alicia are married, so we kind of stuck with each other. But, I want to congratulate them. Here comes Art. And wish them well. And so,
Danny?
maybe Kevin had a little baby.
I know.
I want to congratulate them.
I need to see that child immediately. I texted her and said it was the cutest baby I've ever seen, and that I need to hold her like immediately.
She just can't do this.
She is.
Well, Aria.
Oh, it's our, that's it. I couldn't for the life of me, I couldn't remember her name.
Mm-hmm.
But
She's so beautiful.
I congratulated them publicly in a message to them privately. I just wanted to say, best of luck to them.
Yes, me too. If they're listening,
Mm-hmm.
Megan and Kevin, you know I love you.
Megan and Kevin Doucette, two musicians from, where do they live?
Oh my gosh,
Somewhere
what's the
down
name
along
of the
the
town?
shore.
Yes, in that area. I don't know the name of the
Sure, people, Megan and Kevin Doucette.
town.
They just had it. It was so funny. I love Megan to death. She doesn't look old enough to have a baby.
She has such a baby
so
face.
young herself, looks so
Yeah.
young herself. And then when she was pregnant, it's like she swallowed a basketball. I mean, she's got this skinny little body and this big belly, and I was like, wow, and a beautiful baby. So I wish her and Kevin.
As do I.
She's your girl.
She's my girl.
She's a musician. Kevin's.
So yeah, they're both my girls.
Wow. Kevin's more than happy to
He
hear
loves
that.
me. Maybe he lets it slip.
All right, what are you gonna do for us?
Can I do a new one?
Sure, you can. Is this a
Yeah.
world premiere?
World premiere. I guess on the radio.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I don't know where to take this one in terms of like production at the moment, so I'm hopefully gonna come up with something, or maybe it'll just stay as a song I wrote and never did anything with. But this is called 50 Foot Walk. Am I good? Whatever. Okay, cool. You have a way of breaking down. You can fix, I'm convinced it's all just politics. Your lies weigh heavy on the minds of all your chicks. Pile them up like a ton of bricks. Get a grip and knock down that 50-foot wall you put between us. That's why you think you're all that I want, but you don't know me. All I gave up trying to find your ledge started off finding this. If you think you're a mystery, then now you just missed out on me. Must be exhausting to keep all the stories true. Say I love you, but you hesitate. So it goes. Watch our love decompose. Build a house over the bones. But what you have now isn't home. It's just a 50-foot wall you put between us. That's don't know me. All I gave, I'm trying to find your ledges. Started off fine, then ended. You think you're a mystery, but now you just missed out on me. Cracks forming in the foundation seem to form. Worse than a complication, listen to what you put down your defenses, open the gates. Once you come to your senses, but you're too late. Keep up that 55 while you go between the stars. Why you think you know what I want? You don't know me at all. I gave up trying to find your ledges. Started off fine then ended. You think you're a mystery, but now you just missed out. 'Cause you're not 50 foot while you go between us. That's why you think you know what I want. You don't know me at all. I gave up trying to find your ledges. Started off fine and empty. You think you're a mystery, but now you just missed out on me.
Ooh, there you go. Ah, fantastic. So, Fear on Rock On Radio. If you want to give us a call, please do so. 609-241-7103. Again, City of Angels. If you're watching my Facebook live feed, City of Angels, radio.com. Go to the YouTube button and just click on it. And hello, Kevin. There. Nice, Kevin says. Nice. Who's that?
Girl.
Oh, Jenny Barnes is watching. Papa Carl's watching. Mike Thompson's watching. That's good. Fantastic. Little guys, thank you. You want to give any shout outs while you're there? Is that Megan? She heard us?
I've got my friend just in the comments of the Instagram live video just quoted the lyrics.
There you go. That's what you want. People reciting your lyrics.
Exactly.
So, how did you make that transition from, English class lyrics to adult lyrics?
Just all the experiences in my life, honestly. Just all the things that I've gone through in the last, I think when I was 15,
Yeah.
the last 8 years. I don't know, it's just been,
Well, it always gives me great pleasure, and sometimes tears. You're the only one who produces my tears. I feel like I'm getting all teary-eyed now. I'm glad the camera's on you. But yeah, when it comes to her. But when I see you and Taylor Turner and Taylor Hope, and I remember meeting you when you were kids. You were still taking tests in school.
Yeah.
You hadn't even graduated high school. You didn't even have a driver's license. What did I say to you? Not this last year, because we missed you at the Christmas show this year, but the year before when you came out to Lambertville. You weren't feeling well.
yeah, I was sick.
And I looked at you and I was like, well, where's your mom and dad? Who brought you? You're like, damn it, I can drive now. I got my own car. I was like, oh, man, she's an adult.
Damn.
But, so how did you transition into those lyrics? I mean, college is tough.
Yeah.
I don't mean academically.
No, emotionally.
Emotionally, a life balance, because you sure you want to go hang out with your friends and go to, as my daughter would call them, mom gatherings, or gatherings. That type of thing. How do you go, balancing that? Because you've never wavered from focusing on music.
Yeah, I mean, it's my life. It's the only thing that I care about. not in like a sociopathic way. Just, I mean, I care about people. I just mean in terms of like my life and career. I've never explored other options because I've never wanted to. It's just it is who I am. And like there have been a few times I've like wanted to quit because it's been hard in one way or another. And there have been times where I've thought to myself, like, what's the point in trying, because it's a hard industry. And, you know, there's a chance that I can do everything right and I can go about doing everything in all the right steps and meeting all the right people and I still never make it. And that's a real possibility. And I just come back to it, like, no matter what, I don't know. It just keeps me going. Because the chance that I do make it, it is a small chance, but if I ever do manage to get to where I want to be, that will have made everything worth it.
I think it was Jewel, right? I would say, I'd like to go, I have no internet right now. I think it was Jewel who said, or who was, sleeping in her car and doing gigs because she was essentially homeless.
Yep.
You know, and but she never gave up. She never stopped. The one thing that bothers me about giving up, because let me tell you, there have been many times I've done it and I've done it because you get to a point where you think nobody's paying attention, nobody cares.
Yeah.
You know, and then something happens that says, you know. But the thing that always bothered me about that kind of statement was, if you quit, tomorrow could have been the day you make it.
Yeah.
Tomorrow could. So if I go to my grave trying to do something more and help musicians through the entertainment industry and give people such as yourself a break, if I go to my grave and I never make a dime doing it, so be it. I didn't quit. You know?
No, and that's exactly it too, is like if I get to be like 90 and I'm looking back at my life and I'm like, oh, you know, I never really pursued that music thing like I wanted to. I just gave up and did this other thing instead. I'll always feel so much regret and anger at myself for doing that. Like, why not? I get this lifetime one time. So if I don't take every chance that I can and try my absolute hardest to make it, what's the point?
Well, you know, and you were very fortunate because your mom actually was watching live recently.
She's not watching the Instagram. Mom! Where are you? Lighting.
Hello. You were very fortunate. You were very fortunately, assumably, you are very fortunate because as long as I know you, and while you were up on stage at the Lake House and all those other things, you know, I'll be talking to your mom or your dad, and you know, you were fortunate to have support and bad reception.
Oh,
You were
yikes,
you were
okay.
fortunate to have the support of your mother and father.
Yeah.
And your brother. They stood behind you. I can't speak for what happens, you know, in the sort of household, but publicly, and any time I've ever spoken to your mother or father privately, you know, they've got you 100% behind what you do.
You know, they're the most supportive parents I could have asked for.
And I was just telling this story, as much as I love my parents. Okay, you know, thankfully, they're still alive. They're second, which is kind of funny because you would think I'm second. But
And why is that? Oh, you have gray hair?
I have gray hair.
Yeah.
No?
I'm wrinkly.
You're wrinkly.
I'm like a Sharpay.
No. Oh, we all have wrinkles.
That's all the new style anyway, is the gray hair. You usually see girls dyeing their hair gray.
Yeah, I know. What's up with that?
They're just not the trend.
That's right, you do.
Yeah. Embrace your trend-setting position.
That's right. All right, I'll embrace that. Have some chocolate.
Wow.
Take whatever you want.
Oh my God,
It's a whole array of,
what do we got?
take whatever you want. So you guys do that.
Dark orange, dark mint.
Yeah,
milk,
orange,
Wow.
This
sea
dark
salt.
sea salt.
Right there, chocolate almonds.
I cannot say no to mint. Mint is my favorite.
Dark chocolate, coconut almonds.
Almonds. Those are awesome. It's like mounds, yeah, I like mounds
Oh my
or
God.
almonds. Oh, yeah.
You have a few.
Yes.
Like right now.
Yeah, whatever
I
you
thought you
want.
meant
Everyone?
Yeah, you can do that
you haven't
too.
watched me.
You can do that too. Well, everybody's gonna want you chocolate. That's 100%. Helen said, we will support you no matter what. Your parents. But the thing that I noticed, and again, I don't know what happens behind closed doors in the house. But I do know
Sorry.
that,
Watch it grow.
I do know that, my parents, when I was 18, there was a couple colleges, actually one college. If I couldn't get in there, I just figured I'd go to work because I was really sick and tired of school. And my class rank was 80 out of 521, so I was in the top 20% of my class. I could have went, but I wanted to go to this college.
Yeah.
And I applied 3 different times from junior year to senior year. Gave an application to a girl I went to high school with who got accepted at that college. She turned it in for me. I never read it, not even a rejection. So I was 18 years old, and my mother looked at me and she said, okay, you're not going to go to school. You need to get a job. Okay. She said, well, you need to get a job. I said, "No, I want to get a position." You need to get a job so you have something to fall back on. And the problem when you have a plan B is that it takes away from plan A.
Yeah.
When your back's against the wall, you got nowhere to go forward. You're forced to make things happen. And since I've known you, you've always said, this is what you want to be. I remember you telling me when you first came on this program that you took a lot of heat from kids in school because it's be in a position to sing, and and personally, if they're not, I hope they're all eating their words today. Actually, but I know that you took that to heart pretty much when you were a kid in high school. And,
Yeah. Well, when I met you, I was 15, and the world ended when we were split. We don't know any better.
True. This is true. But now, again, oh, Kevin Doucette is watching. We just spent, now you tune in, Kev? We just went on and on about your child and your wife, and congratulations. Oh, Brian Eric is watching. Hello, Brian. Okay, there you go, perfect. Yes, this is how we have to do it tonight. Our guest is Soph, if you're just tuning in on Facebook,
Welcome.
or on Soph's Instagram, which
Welcome.
Is it the same as Twitter?
No. So Soap Music was taken. Soap Music Official is too long. It's too many characters. So I had to do Soap_music, which is
Yeah,
nobody wants to be in that position.
it should be like websites. You should be able to go in and get one website for every .net.com and app.
But the hub for all things soap is soapmusic.com. So
Okay, you
I
can
have
get
that.
all that there.
Yeah.
So you've been really, pushing on this. And as I said, your parents have always supported you. So you've got a good system within SOFA.
I do.
And, so you're pretty much free to do what you need to do.
Yeah.
To give it this effort. So, correct. You may not feel like it.
No, I feel like it at all times now.
Oh, do you?
It's incredible.
Okay. All
Because
right.
as soon as I graduated, it didn't hit me right away. I knew conceptually I was free, but I hadn't really put much thought into it. And this whole summer, I've just been doing anything I want to because I can. And it's been amazing. And it's September now. So I'm going to be, I want to look into moving
Okay.
out of New Jersey. I know. We'll see. I mean, well, I don't think it's going to be happening for few months.
Okay.
So I'll still do my best. But 2019, 1,000%, I want to venture out.
You'll have my support.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because for some strange reason, I have friends everywhere in the business. I do. Well, I had two. You and Art. And so Art disappeared. I might be down. I might be down by 33% of my friends. But if you're just tuning into my Facebook Live or the YouTube channel here at City of Angels Radio, COARadio.com, click on YouTube. That is Soph. That is our guest tonight. 609-241-7103. If you want to give us a call, what's Kevin say? We love you guys and sorry. We are just tuning in. Well,
No, it's okay.
you're going to have to listen to the replay somewhere around the 45-minute mark because we talked about you and your baby. We want to wish you guys both the best.
I said all good things too.
That's right. Sophia wants to.
Usually was a girl.
Claire, didn't you? It's a good thing we have this where Sophia said she'll babysit for like 6 months in a row.
Right. I didn't hear that.
Oh,
Till the kids
sorry,
potty.
what?
Till the kids potty
What
train.
was that?
Your mom would. Sure.
To babysit?
No, no, you babysit.
Oh, yes, definitely.
Now, Sophia does this great impersonation
Oh.
Oh,
of your grandmother.
oh,
Every time, I can still hear you do it. Because your mom and dad are Russian
yes,
descent.
Yes.
And, it's funny, I talked to your dad and his accent isn't.
I really
No, it's
can't hear
noticeable.
either of them.
It's noticeable, but her mom's is a little more. And it's not really, but when Sophia does her grandparents.
Well, yeah, my parents are like straight off the boat in Russia, so they have really good accents and everything cool and they sound really good.
See?
Hotel pension.
A little bit. I think I'm overdoing it too. It's not nearly that bad, but it's just very funny to overdo that. Like you can understand.
Well, and it's funny because every time I used to drive to Asbury Park, I'd be going down Corley's Avenue. And I would see it's no longer there. So it's something like now it's on the corner of this Kushka, the florist. Until it said in the window, Kushka, the florist. And all I could hear was you doing that voice. Your mother said, no, we're not.
Russian boat. I used to say that to my friends because all my friends would come over when I was in high school and they would meet my parents and they'd be like, wow, they have such thick accents. And I'd be like, what are you talking about? No, they don't. They'd be like, oh, they sound European. And I got sick of it, so I just started quoting my parents to friends that hadn't come over yet in a really thick Russian accent so that when they would come over, they'd be like, your parents don't sound like that. They sound American. I'd be like, exactly.
So you took the heat for it.
I did.
See?
I helped him out.
That's right.
Yeah.
See how much you helped so, you know, why don't we do another two? We're running a little behind on
sure.
it. Yeah, let's do another two.
Absolutely.
Do you want to do one of you off the phone or you want to do it live?
I'll do another one live
Okay,
because I'm broadcasting Instagram live on my phone.
okay.
And if I
We'll go that route.
Oh, that's true.
If you're just visually in, because that means you can't be tuning, not on the radio. Visioning in, clicking
Looking
in,
in,
looking in.
stalking.
This is Rock On Radio. Our guest is Soph,
That's me.
and she's going to do something. Why don't you do a couple? Like,
Wow.
yeah, let's go back to back. It'll be a double shot of Soph.
Double shot of soap.
Second Soph. Second helping.
Second helping of soap. So this one is a love song that I wrote a few years back, but it's one of my favorites. And it's available for download. You can get it on iTunes, Spotify, Google Play, Amazon Music, all that good stuff. You want to check it out? All right.
Soph here on Rock On Radio.
This is Infinity. Monday morning. Don't know where my skin ends, yours begins. Now it's 6 a.m. now, words are chirping. We're awake to say I love you again and again. Promise me we'll sing nothing. Time is not an entity. Our love won't face mortality. Our love will live past you and me. Out of breath with the sinking, but you have a way of making pain in me. Your starry eyes will always be timeless, and your soft kiss forever weakens my knees. I know it's foolish and naive to promise that we'll never leave, but if somehow this life's a dream, please meet me in infinity. Maybe there's a place hidden in all the time where the sun never sets and our bodies never die. If we make it there someday, just promise me one thing: we'll call that place infinity. Just meet me in infinity. Maybe there's a place hidden all the time. We'll make it there someday. All that place infinity.
Oh, look at you. It's killed. Well, no, I was just sitting here thinking while she was doing that she, how she's matured as a young artist and a young woman, and because she was a kid, we talked about it before, and I was also thinking about how the first time you came onto the program, that you were all about Taylor Swift.
It was. Yeah.
And just how your music, so many female artists today, singer-songwriter, people who are softer as opposed to harder driving artists. The females, they all have that breathy, pausing style.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
They sound like the old Platters or Johnny Mathis records, And I'm so glad to see that you've gotten away from that. Not that you ever really did a lot, actually hardly ever, but I'm glad that you're not sounding like everybody else
Thank you.
out there, which is huge. I think that's a testament, not only to your talent, but your driving. So,
Thank you so much.
it warms my heart.
Of course.
She did make me cry.
I'm sure, I watched you.
Made me
I'm not
cry.
sure it takes that much to make me.
Well, there was a Jam Awards that we were at when they first opened up the Performing Arts Center, which was here in Neptune High School,
Right.
across from this fabulous establishment called Clancy's Tavern. And they had a Jam Awards there for myself, and I think there was another radio from John Jersey somewhere. I can't remember what her name was. We were supposed to present you the award. She was actually supposed to entertain, and I was just supposed to come in.
You were blowing events.
And how it was. And we got back there, and Shore looked at me and said, I think you should take this one. Her name was Dana or something. I think Dana was.
Yeah.
And he said, Dana, if you don't mind, I think Danny should take this one. I knew right there and then, you know. And I was due. I got chills. And we got out on stage, and it was the absolute hardest thing for me to do. Was to open that and announce you as the winner of that. And get all teary-eyed. Take that picture.
I did take the picture. But,
And
try it out.
but yeah, and because
We need content.
that's right. And then from there, you get nominated for Raspberry Music Awards. You know, everything is just, whether you want to believe it or feel it or not, everything is starting as just continued to climb for you. You know, a lot of kids go to college and they be kids for 4 years. You know, in your case, because you stayed the extra, because you had to.
Yeah, 5 years, I think.
Because of the program, you know, they stay kids. They
Right.
don't get out of that mentality. But I've watched, you know, through social media, through talking with your parents, through, you know, I've watched you continue to grow musically. And I just think I can't be pushing up, I guess, you know.
Good job.
I do some things, but no, you know, it's, what'd you say there? Oh, we love you. I love you too, Helen. See, your parents love you.
Are my parents the only ones watching? I'm afraid.
No, there was, we're fluctuating between, on my page, between 4 and 10 at
Okay,
any given time.
gotcha.
So, hello, JC.
I can't
Hello,
tell.
Kathy.
Oh, dear.
We are broadcasting this week's Rock on Radio live on the Seaway YouTube. So for those of you on Facebook, if you want to go to City of Angels and seawayradio.com and click on YouTube, or on Sophia's Instagram, you can go there and you can watch everything. So I've got the camera trained on you, basically. But as long as you have it on.
Sure.
Okay.
What do you think?
You got
What kind of song you want here? Are you feeling something like sassy, like upbeat? What are you feeling?
You know, a while back when you and Megan were doing your thing, I remember I went to that's that place on Route 9.
Oh,
It's like a big old warehouse because you were in some kind of competition to open for was it Lollapalooza or
oh, Game Changer World?
yes, Game
Yeah.
Changer World. And you were doing some of your more rockin' stuff there.
Yeah, because it was like a rock
Yeah.
feel. I was trying to conform. No longer, Danny.
Well, that was my point. Now you don't conform anymore.
No,
Do
that's
you?
not me.
So you did, well, of course, at Megan on percussion.
Yeah.
Cajon and whatnot. What did you do? What did you do with those tunes? Are you still doing those tunes when you're doing your originals?
I
or you
think so. I
concentrating
think those are
on-
the ones I ended up releasing, actually.
Okay.
So yes, but I want to change my sound. In all honesty, I have yet to kind of figure myself out as an artist, and I'm kind of on this like journey right now.
What do you mean?
I feel like the music that I write and the music that I have produced and is out right now is. Oh, I think my thing died. My phone died. Oh
What
no.
kind is it?
I don't know. It died.
What brand is it?
Oh, it's not that.
Oh.
Do you have a charger? I should have asked you that way longer, like before we even started. Oh my God, what were we talking about? I'm so sorry. I just got distracted.
You know, me too, but Kevin wants to know if you play Waltz.
Aw, I'll play waltz too. I haven't played it in a while, but I will play it.
Well, that's what you're talking about.
Yes.
About conforming.
Conforming.
You don't do that.
No. Yeah, I still am playing those songs, but the songs that I want to be playing in the coming year, I want to be brand new. I want to have a brand new set list. I don't want to be playing the same songs that I was. And yeah, I don't know. I'm just trying to figure out my sound. The stuff that I have released and the stuff that I've written is pretty. It doesn't have a sound that's distinct. And I want to develop and hone a very specific and distinct sound and vibe. Like when you hear a soap song, I want to know that you're listening to a soap song. I don't want you to be like, oh, this kind of sounds like this person, and this sounds like I love so many different genres, and I tried to add every single element I could from every genre into 6 singles that I released, and it ended up just being not a mess, but a lot of influences that didn't really match with each other and are hard to pinpoint. And I want to hone that and really get a good, distinguished, developed sound. So I've just been working on writing. I only have a few more gigs left for the year. I haven't booked really anything. And I haven't booked anything into next year either, because I want to just spend the first at least 6 months of the year just writing, going on a hiatus, getting to understand myself as an artist and where I want to go, the direction I want to go with my music. And then I want to come back with a bang. And I want to have some crazy new stuff and a direction that people aren't expecting. So I've been working on that all summer, basically, since I graduated. And when I come back with new stuff, it's going to be a completely different ballpark. So I'm really excited.
Good. No, that's you said something in there that's key to me. When I was a kid, when dinosaurs were here, when I was a child, after I would slave, after I slaved a saber-toothed tiger for dinner.
Right. Of course, yeah.
Your burger.
Tastes like chicken. But if I turned on the radio and I heard music and I hadn't heard it before, oh shoot, that's the movie stuff. Oh, wait, the Who have a new album now? Wow, that's great. Oh man, it's gotta be the new Zeppelin. That's gotta be, because they had a certain style.
Yes.
Not because every song sounded the same.
No, and I don't want that either. I just want to have a style that is distinct.
Excellent. Who is that? Homer Simpson. Sorry.
I can't help you.
I kind of lose myself sometimes. No, but you have a certain. I have no idea what I'm doing, but you have a certain style.
Yeah.
And that's great. Rather than so many performers today, these people who made it one genre. And I'm sure you saw when you interned at Epic, it's like a formula. It's like a cookie cutter. They get a sound and they force everybody down that same path until it starts to wane. Then they get another sound, and then.
But the difference is, I don't want to be a bandwagoner hopping on a sound that's already being overused. I want to have something that is new and distinguishable, and that sets a trend.
Right.
Which is like a tall feat, so obviously I need at least a year, but give me time, I'll work on it.
You know what? You never know. Things in this business can change overnight. Literally.
Yeah.
Your fortunes can rise and can fall in some direction. So I think consistency is the key.
Okay.
And just as I told you from the time you first met me, be careful of the wolves and sheep's clothing. Stay true to what you want to do. So take advice from people who know what they're talking about, but don't be afraid to take the risks that you want to take. And that goes for any of us.
I do walls, as per Kevin's request.
There you go. So, here on Rock On Radio.
I'm stuck with my thoughts, just getting lost, trying to find a verse in the clutter. I'm shut down, so I broke tight and lost my ego, hates the words that I utter. I'm swimming in a tidal wave, can't be the eye of the hurricane is in my brain. I'm caught to the of these falls I see. All the words from me, holding back the words I need. And I'm trying so desperately to create a product, make a profit from my wallet. And the industry will love it, cause the strangers went and bought it. Money feels like a bluff and what's enough is being proud to put my name on it. Is it pivotal for me to be so critical of every line I add to the canvas? I need to find my flow by letting go and watching my hand as it senses. Of these walls I see, and out the world from me, holding back the words I need. I'm trying so desperately to take it apart brick by brick, so there's no walls to restrain. But finding all its politics, I'll strike gold in all its breaks. Break down the walls. I'm sick and tired of feeling so small. Walls, break down the walls. It's tough to get up when you're close to fall. Walls, break down the walls. It's tough to get up when you're close to fall. Walls, break down the walls. It's tough to get up when nothing at all.
I don't think I've ever heard you do that one.
I haven't done it in a while.
Wow, when did you write that?
3 or 4 years ago.
You were in college.
Yeah, college was a weird time frame too, because I have all these songs that I wrote that I didn't really do anything with, and they're all old stuff. But that's why I want to write some new stuff, because all the stuff that I have out now is I think the most recent one in terms of when I finished writing it was maybe 2.5 years ago. So I want to have brand new material.
Now, but while you were in college, you had the opportunity to still continue to perform. You went. You were in South Jersey.
I was.
So, you had that opportunity to perform with. I saw you did some kind of something the professionals. What was that thing you used to do?
It was Props Place, I think.
Props Place.
Right?
That's
Yeah.
So you had outlets to perform.
I did, which was really lucky.
Oh, Michelle. Hello, Michelle. Hey, who is that? White bread loves you, baby. Scott did it. Hey, Scott, what's happening? Wendy, I think. There we go. I have to look. There's Kevin. Says killer every single time.
Oh, Kevin.
Oh, that's
you.
Megan.
Oh, Megan. Thank you.
She's on Kevin's Facebook, I guess. Way to go, Meggers. So you had outlets.
Yes, but it's in a college setting, and it wasn't the outlets that I think I was used to. For me, when I would perform before college, when I was in high school, I would go around to different venues in New Jersey, and then I was it was venues inside the college, and it was the cafeteria type of thing. It wasn't a cafeteria, but it was a food market place, and that's where they had a Props Place, and people would be sitting down and eating hamburgers, and I'd get up and start singing, and I'd be like, hey, so sorry to interrupt your food.
Some given music.
Here you go. And I would sing, and it was I could do all the original stuff, so people were always really receptive and really cool. So that was a lot of fun to do. I did Rowan's Got Talent one year,
Okay.
which was fun. I did the Battle of the Bands that Rowan had there was like a
Oh, yeah.
Poly Bash. That
Uh-huh.
was like their main big event, and they had Mike Posner 2 years ago, and then or a year ago, and then this past year they had Andy Grammer. So
Oh.
if you won Battle of the Bands, you got to open for the main act, and we won. It was me, my drummer Ryan. Yep, just me and my drummer Ryan. We won fan favorite, so we got to headline the side stage.
Oh, nice.
So it was
Very nice. Michelle Spinell, she's a disc, does weddings and private parties and things of that nature.
Mhm.
She says, "Greetings.
Greetings.
Enjoyed the song. How do you remember all the lyrics?"
I wrote them,
Good choice.
so just
Oh,
repetition.
no. Last week I went to Havana in New York to see Pat Warren runs a
Yeah.
Wednesday nights thing.
Yeah. I
And
did one of those.
okay, and Pat is setting up on stage to do his set.
Yeah.
And he's got a music stand and he's got a book there. And Pat, and I looked at him and I was like, "You wrote this stuff. Is there a reason why you need this?" And he's like, "Oh, sometimes I can't remember, But
No, I've got a good memory when it comes to music stuff and stuff that doesn't matter. Like I will remember the one thing that you told me 3 years ago, just like offhand, and I'm like, yes, I got it, and it's stored. But I will not remember my assignment for a class or, like a doctor's appointment that I had that I clearly missed because I'm getting a call from the office saying, hey, why didn't you come in? Stuff like that. I started writing things down, so it's better. But I had that problem in college where I couldn't remember anything important, but I would write like some lyrics down on a napkin before class, and I'd go, got them, they're stored. I don't know. It doesn't work in my favor. I mean, it does now, but it didn't back then. Writing stuff down.
No, that would mean
No,
that
don't
would
do
mean
that.
research.
That would be horrible.
What does Wendy say? Any type of exposure is good exposure. Wendy says.
Sideways and sideways.
So, yeah, keep chatting.
I do. I have my phone tilted, and Vince said, Vince.
You want to know why you're crooked?
He said, you're sideways. I said, I am sideways. That's the point.
Ah.
See, I can make myself not sideways, but it would be fun. I like the sideways look.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, Vince, what's the
Sure.
problem? Yeah,
Go for it.
go for it.
That's right. So, I mean, you've always been there. Tell everybody who, like I said, we missed you this year on Christmas special. You were in school.
I was.
You had things and that's okay. We still love you. That's fine. But you, I know who they are, but the people who missed you at the Christmas special, and you haven't been on here in a couple of years, tell them who your influences were, who you listened to, other than when you were a kid and it was Taylor Swift.
It's changed a lot. Recently, it's been, I love Lorde. Lorde is like my favorite artist, I think, just in terms of creativity and uniqueness. She's like the most wonderful artist. She's so different and unapologetically weird, and not weird for the sake of being weird. Like you see a lot of that. People who are like, I'm so kooky, ha, and it's like an act. But she's just doing whatever she feels is right and good for her music, and she's like an incredible songwriter. So I'm a huge fan of Lorde. I also really like Billie Eilish. She's kind of a newer, like indie pop artist that started surfacing in the last year. She's amazing. She's got a really, really cool voice, but her choices in instrumentation and production are really, really neat. So they've been really inspiring and influencing. And I love, in terms of like vocal ability and vocal arrangement, Ariana Grande. Like more than anything, she's amazing.
We talked earlier with Christine Holman about Aretha Franklin's
Yeah,
funeral.
yeah.
Did you see her?
I did.
Okay,
She can do no wrong in my book, I'm sorry.
last I checked, she was either Caucasian or very white skinned.
She's Italian.
Okay, so I work with, I am the lone white guy in my department. I work with African American co-workers. Okay, so I called two of them over. I said, "This girl, white and black, what did she do to herself that she looked like a medium complected dark or medium complected black girl?"
She's a tan girl.
And I said, and I looked at the one guy. I said, "She is not. She's a white girl." He said,
She's Caucasian. Yeah, she's an Italian tan white girl.
so, yeah,
Italian.
yeah. What is she?
She's Italian.
Russian.
We're very pale people, so I wouldn't be mistaken for being black.
Well, I know, I'm of Irish descent. I go from zero to melanoma. Like 3 seconds.
Yeah, I'm a freckled Italian, Irish white girl.
That's what happens.
I'm always a peach, and I never will be anything else. It's I don't get like, tan and nice
Bronze.
bronze. Yeah, I don't get that bronze look.
I kissed you.
Speaking.
Thank God.
Incredible. I used to when I was a kid too. I don't know what happened. My skin broke, and now I'm just pale all the time. I get a little bit of color if people notice, which is nice because like it's, I guess, pretty evident. Like, oh, you're not translucent right now. It's amazing.
You're not invisible.
Amazing. But in the winter, forget it. I look like I'm sick all the time. Okay, that's what you get, I guess.
All right, come on, Powder. It's time to go to class. I get it.
All right.
So,
Great
well,
movie, then.
speaking of looks, cut your hair,
I did.
you dyed blue.
I did. Now, do you know how many
I
people
don't- well,
do
I-
not recognize me anymore, Danny?
I see that.
It's so funny. I was just at a friend's gathering that he had yesterday, and a friend of mine that I hadn't seen in a few years was there with some other people, and I came over to give her a hug. I was like, Brianna, and she goes, I said, it's Soph, I'm sorry, I know I don't look the same. And she goes, oh my gosh! I was like, yeah, I know, I'm getting that a lot.
And I kept, I don't want to sound like Dr. Phil. What were you thinking? I mean, what were you thinking? You just wanted to change? You just wanted to more mature?
It was a few things.
Okay.
It was, I don't know much about branding from like a business perspective.
Branding.
But-
right?
Branding, yeah. The little that I do know in the
But you said
business,
brandy.
branding,
I got excited.
the business courses I have taken, I always talk about having like a certain look, a certain brand. And my brand for a long time was people always knew me by my hair. I've got this long curly hair, and
Right.
I was blonde for a little bit, I was brunette, but it was kind of switching between the two. And it got to a point for me where, number one, I've always wanted to cut my hair short, like for as long as I can remember. I've always wanted to pull off a short haircut once I figured out how to make my hair work. So for a long time, I had no idea what products to use, what makes it look good.
This is where you consult Charles Lee.
I know, I didn't, and it was my mistake.
Matching hair.
Yeah,
Her and Charles are in the studio at the same time. None of us were all up against the wall like this.
you could tell it was
There was so much hair in the room. Even I had hair when they were in the room. So, yeah.
We rubbed off on you.
Yeah.
But, I'd always wanted to cut my hair short. And I felt like I couldn't do it because I would sacrifice the brand. And I actually started out by dyeing it blue first. Back in January, I wanted to do a color, and I was talking to my mom about it. And I had this realization of, oh yeah, I'm 22 years old. If I want to do something, I'm allowed to. I don't need to seek permission from my parents. And I sat down with my mom and was like, I want to dye my hair blue. And she was like, okay. And I was like, so can I? She's like, do whatever you want. You're 22. And I was like, yeah, right. of course, I'm gonna dye blue. And kind of on a whim, I scheduled an appointment, went to the salon. They it was like an indigo color, and I loved it. It was like, this is what I've been wanting for such a long time, because back my sophomore year of college, I bought one of those little box dye kits, and I did just the ends of my hair blue. And I was like, what a tease. I want to go full blue one day, but I never will. I could risk the brand. And I was like, wait, you know what? Who cares? It's a new year, new me, type of New Year blue me. That was a joke I was making. I know. And I was like, you know, I'm just going to do it. So I did it. I loved the way it looked. And then I was about to graduate college, or I did actually graduate, and it was like 2 or 3 weeks after I graduated college. It's like, you know what? I am kind of tired of having, long hair. I mean, this is cool and all, but I've been wanting to cut it short for a while. I think it would look really cool. And if it doesn't, it's just hair it grows back. And I kind of mulled over the decision until July, and then I finally.
Not always.
Just falls out.
I don't think, it's
Oh, go ahead, I'm sorry.
thankfully. No, but I've been wanting to cut it short for a while, and I also knew it was so unhealthy from having dyed it so many times, so it just knew it would be good for my hair to do anyway. So I just figured I'd do it, and then in July, I scheduled an appointment right after my birthday, and I went in, and my hairdresser, who I've been going to now for a little bit, every time I come in, I'm like, I want to do more purple today. And she's like, okay. And it's always a surprise. So I came in, and the girl who was cutting my hair and the girl who was coloring it were both sitting on opposite sides of the chair. And I sat down, they said, what are we doing today? And I said, well, you ladies are going to be in for a little shock. I'm cutting it all off. And the girl who was cutting my hair went, yes, I knew it. And I was like, how did you know? She's like, I just had a feeling with you. You always come in and do weird stuff. And I was like, awesome, this is great. So she cut it off, and as it was happening, she was smiling like maniacally, like as it was snipping off. And it was on the floor, and you could see it all in a pile. And she was like, look at that. That was your hair. And I was like, I know. And I was so excited. But she was like, I never get to do this to people, because people with curly hair typically like to have it long, and they spend so much time growing it out, you can't tell when it's long, because like my hair's so much longer than it looks, but it's just curly.
Did she, when she
She's
was,
like, I can't believe I get to cut a curly haired person's hair for the first time.
well, when she was done, well, 2 questions I have.
Yeah.
When she cut it, did it like spring up to where it's at now? That's a lot of curl.
I know. Well, when she first cut it, she cut it while it was dry. It's a diva cut. There's a whole world of curly hair expertise that I won't delve into, but she cut it dry, and then we had to wash it to dye it. And then when they were blow drying it, or actually they did one of those little things you sit under.
Right.
When it dried, it sprung up a little bit, but later and kind of trim off any pieces that are a little uneven. But
How many inches did she cut it?
that's a great question. I don't know.
Okay.
I actually did. I should have
Oh,
asked.
If you donated it.
I couldn't. I
So
couldn't.
it's so colored.
No,
Yeah, they don't accept bleached hair, which is.
She would have loved it.
she
No.
couldn't. She couldn't. So what she did was she tied up all together and rescued Princess from the tower.
No, it was long. There was a lot of it, but I wanted to donate it, and I found out I couldn't because it was color treated.
Pat Ford must have heard what I was talking about. He's watching.
Hey, Pat.
What do you say, Rusty? Pat? John? Oh, yeah. Was there another 2 for us before?
Yeah, yeah.
15 minutes left.
We only got 15. Damn. All right, flew by.
Tell me.
It really flew by. All right. Well, this one is. I feel like this is the fan favorite. Every time I play it live, this is the one that people always remember. And when I was at college, I had a really cool moment. I was playing at a showcase in an art gallery, and there was a group of people standing in the front, and I had the last set of the night. And I came up, and I was like, this first song is called Shame on Me, which is a song I'm going to be playing now. And there were 3 people in the front that were grouped up together that were mimicking the words back and singing along. And it was the most amazing moment, because I didn't know people knew the words, but because I was in that group, that community of college students, I was always playing out, and people were always hearing the same songs. So it was really neat to see people like knowing the lyrics.
Knowing your
singing them
music,
back.
yeah, it's great, that's a good, that's why we do it. It's one of them little things, when
That's
you're
like,
thinking about quitting, that
That's
keeps
how
you
you,
going.
that's exactly how you make me cry, by the way, because every time I've ever been at a gig and looked down and somebody was singing the words back, I'm like, I gotta focus on singing because I'm gonna lose it.
And you opened up for Tusk too, right?
I did, yeah.
Yeah, to
They
a
were
packed-
so sweet.
What was that, Strand Theater?
Yes,
It had to be a sold out show, right? Or
I-
close to it?
it was close to it. I don't know if it was sold out, but it was.
How'd
a lot
that
of
feel
people.
looking out at that?
That was
huh?
awesome. People were also so cool about it, and I came out and it was just me. I didn't have my drummer or my guitarist with me, and I was just like, oh, hey, everybody. Sorry, I know you're about to get a full band, and this is just me on a guitar, but I hope this suffices. And people were great. I got really great feedback. It's a good show. All right, I guess this is it.
Okay.
Shame on me. Oh, by the way, I'm a loud singer. I don't want to blow this out. Am I good to like
Yeah, back away.
back away a little bit?
Yeah, go ahead. So,
Tell me something by yourself so we can get along. Tell me your taste in music, favorite genre, favorite song, so I sing it to you. Give me something I can work with 'cause you're kinda cute. I don't wanna give up now, I'm on a hot pursuit to find someone, anyone new. Ooh, shame on me for thinking that you could be so easily replaced. Shame on you for trying to tell me that my feelings are a waste. Any boy who's not him's a mistake. He's got green eyes, you got blue, I'm sorry, that won't do. Your favorite songs are not obscure enough to listen to. He sets the bar higher than you reach. And every little thing he does can always make me blush. And you could give me all the world, it wouldn't be enough. You're unique, like Santa along the beach. Oh, shame on me for thinking that you could be so easily replaced. And shame on you for trying to tell me that my feelings are a waste. Any boy who's not a mistake. Oh no, any boy, no, shame on, shame on, oh, shame on, shame on, shame on me. And you never will be. You can't see that I'm unhappy being free. Never felt so limited. You're not him, and you never will be. You can't see that I'm unhappy. Baby, please come back to me. Yeah. Shame on me. Oh, and shame on you for trying to tell me that my feelings always know. Any boy who's not into mistake. Oh no, any boy, no, shame on, shame on, oh, shame on, shame on, shame on me, shame on me.
nice. I always like that one too. Another, Kevin McElroy, he says outstanding. Thank you, Leo.
Yeah.
I was down to like 12%.
Sorry, you can't plug it into your laptop, I'm shocked.
No, I can,
Oh.
but it'll download things on there that I don't want it to,
Gotcha.
so.
I ran out. of my
Fair enough.
So what do you have coming up for kids?
So coming up, I've got the Lantern Fest on September 8th and 9th.
You already did that, but that can rain out.
Well, no, there's a bunch. I did the one in Philly. I did the one in Pittsburgh.
Ooh,
I know, 5-hour drive.
yeah.
Yeah, but they got us a hotel room. It was really nice.
Oh, nice.
And this one is in the Poconos. We're staying with some friends of ours, which is great. So I have a.
Whereabouts in the Poconos?
It's at the Pocono Raceway on
Oh,
Long Pond
okay.
Road.
Mhm.
And yeah, I'm very excited. We did the one last year. Actually, I think the Poconos one, the one day I did with Megan and Kevin. I'm almost positive that was the Poconos one. Yeah, because it was in September. And this year I did the Philadelphia one. There was supposed to be 2 days for that, but the second date got rained out, which is why I got to do the Pocono or the Pittsburgh one.
Okay.
So I did the one in Philly with my drummer and my guitarist. Did the one in Pittsburgh with my drummer and my guitarist, and now my drummer and I are doing the 8th and 9th coming up this next weekend. My guitarist is injured, so he can't, unfortunately. But yeah, it's going to be a really fun show. And you can get tickets discounted for only $40 when you are buying the tickets online. For the 8th is sold out, but the 9th is still, they have tickets still. If you put in code capital LF SOF 40, you can get $40 tickets.
Okay.
So if you want to do that,
And you're,
I
and
recommend
again, your website, social media?
SoFmusic.com, and if you just go straight there, you can find everything, including how to get the tickets. They're listed on my my events page. You can click the RSVP link, and it'll take you right to downloading the tickets. But, yeah,
Okay, so that's the 5th.
it's the 8th and the 9th.
The 8th and the 9th.
So yeah, today's Sunday, so this upcoming weekend.
Then you have the gig in Bordentown with Charles.
Yes, on the 21st.
Have you ever seen Charles in the Mischief?
I feel like I have at least once.
They're a lot of fun.
Yeah, I'm excited. It's gonna be a good time.
A lot of fun stuff.
It's gonna be a great time.
Yeah,
I'm excited. Yeah, you guys better go too on
Yeah.
Instagram Live and Facebook Live.
that's right. That's in Bordentown, New Jersey, Route 130. It's right where Route 130 and 206 come together. If you're heading south.
Okay.
It's right before they come together, right next to my story Steiner, Jimmy's, Jimmy's, yes, or whatever it is now. They
Yes,
just changed it.
Oh, they did?
It's just called Jimmy's, right?
All right.
I think so.
Yeah.
Two very big establishments.
Okay.
On the southbound side, as soon as you see them on the right, we go past Team 85, there's a traffic light, and then as soon as you get past that, you see my stories and Jimmy's. The Open Art Stage Theater
Okay.
is a very small driveway right there, just before you go under the overpass. And slow down, because if you go under the overpass, you have to go all the way up the traffic light, make a U-turn, all the way back down.
Okay. Thank you.
So,
Thank you for the heads up.
I'm trying to tell. It's a neat venue. You know, I actually got lucky and had, I've played that several
Lucky there?
times.
Have you?
I did. I was very lucky, and I got to do this a half a set
Wow.
with the famous guitarist Al Stewart at that venue. Al Stewart did a
Danny.
he did a tune. He did a thing. His song "Year of Cat," "Time Passages." What else? Did a few things. But yes, so I played that venue on several occasions. So, it's pretty cool.
That's awesome. My sister belly danced there.
Really?
Oh, really?
They had a whole good show there.
Wow.
That's
That's cool. I don't think I'm going for that
No.
this time around.
Next time.
Next time though, for sure. I'm working on my belly. Get it right for the belly dance.
I've been working on mine for 55 years. I finally got one. So, Claire,
Mhm.
Soph and I, we've been rock stars multiple times.
I think that's wonderful.
Soph has shared the stage, together we shared the stage with Ed Roland.
Yeah.
Collective Soul,
Sweet tea project.
and the Sweet Tea Project. What a great guy.
He's such a great
And
guy.
wasn't he a nice guy?
It's always nice to be pleasantly surprised when you meet somebody of like high caliber in the music industry who's very nice. You always are afraid of, never meet your heroes type of thing, but I've been very fortunate. You and I both have been fortunate to meet people who are very, very polite, very nice.
And who else did you opened for quite a few people.
Yes, I have.
For me, it was Ed Roland and,
Chris Barron of Spin Doctors, Ari Hest, Dan Reed, the Dan Reed Network, Emily Kinney from The Walking Dead.
yes.
She was really sweet too.
Mhm.
Almost Queen. I mean, I've done
Yes.
several shows.
You
with
did
them.
that one of those in Starling, too. didn't you?
Yeah, I
Starlight
did.
Ballroom?
That was like years ago. I was still in high school at the time.
No. Oh, we got 4 minutes left.
4 minutes.
So now's the moment in the program where I allow you to turn the tables and ask me any question you want to know.
Why did we add that?
I don't know, I just thought of it.
A new segment.
Brand new.
Brand new segment, I just thought of it 30 seconds ago.
What are the next steps in your career, Danny? What do you want to accomplish? Because it's always good to keep setting goals. I think no matter what.
It's funny that you said that, because funny is not odd. Like you, there have been many times I've almost just said, I really don't know if I should keep doing this. Whether it was issues with myself, or with the product, or with the station, or with personnel, so to speak. Sometimes you just say, is it worth it? Is it, why am I doing it? Does anybody listen anymore? Does anybody pay attention? Does anybody, and then like I said, something happens. My whole life, since I was 11 when I started playing, did my first gig at 13. I wanted to be a rock
So did
star.
I. That's so funny. Yeah, that's my first gig too.
Right. You've got a lot more of your life left to do it. My time's running short. But,
I wouldn't say that, Danny.
well, you're much younger.
Yeah, but people make it.
Oh, I know, I get that. I don't think I'm gonna be a quote unquote rock star anymore, My days of dreaming that I will tour the world, so to speak. One thing I realized, and I kind of like hearing what you had to say tonight, because it lets me know that you get it. I spoke earlier about, my mom saying, "Oh, that's great, but you need something to fall back." I got a job to accommodate my parents' wishes. Then, when I got married, I put music down for about 12 years to accommodate my now ex-wife. It made her happy, but it made me miserable.
Yeah.
Then I had a job while I was married that became a UPS driver. I was accommodating the needs of my family through that. And then when my back gave out, I realized that now's the time. My kids were, my son was in college, my daughter was getting ready to go to college. I was unemployed for 3 years when I started this radio show because my back had given out. And I realized that I don't have to accommodate anybody. What I have to do is the things that I need to do to try to be successful. And if you're constantly giving in to make other people happy, then you need to do one or two things. You need to just do that for the rest of your life. Or you test their friendship by saying, no, I need to do this for me, and you're just fine. So I began doing that, and it didn't exactly go over real well with a lot of people, because
Doesn't make you many friends.
no, because when people are used to taking from you, they will always take from you. And when you set that boundary and put a stop to it, and say, you know what, I'd love to help you, but I gotta do this for me. Then you find out who your friends are. Then you find out exactly who supports you and who doesn't. Who was your taker and who are your true friends of support. Because some people, whether it's subliminally or it's actively or, whatever it is, they will take from you as long as you keep doing this.
Right.
Especially in this industry.
Absolutely.
So, but with that, we gotta wrap it up. Thank you. It was a very good question.
Yeah.
And that gave me a chance to turn it around and give you a fatherly advice.
Thank you.
When Sabelli's not here, I gotta give you fatherly advice.
Appreciate it.
Is all right, we have to wrap it up. Thank you so much for making sure. Thank you for your patience.
Of course.
And
I'm looking forward to hearing it in podcast form.
Art will prep the file today or tomorrow. And tomorrow is Labor Day, so happy Labor Day.
Happy Labor Day.
Wednesday the 12th, I have a happy hour at the Tirnanobe in Trenton featuring the music of Michael Navinger. With an open mic by the incredibly talented Jerry Monk. Following this 1324 Hamilton Avenue, so people play.
I did.
That was my very first ones. She wasn't even legal to drink. She was playing in a bar.
I was doing that from when I was like 13.
I know. So.
That's why bars were never interesting. Like,
Yeah. Oh, Joe Powell's watching.
able to drink. I was like, I've already been in bars many times.
All right. You got the theme song cued there,
I
Art?
do.
There you go. Till next week. Rock on!
All
There
right.
we go. Oh, there's
Thank you
me.
guys for
Thank
tuning
you
in.
all for
Sorry I
tuning
went
in and
off.
watching. Go ahead, you go first.
Sorry I went off the air 30 times, but thank you guys for tuning in, and you guys rock. Bye.
Calm that hair down. Look at that. Look like you're out of wind tunnel. So, all right. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you for your patience. Tuesday night right here, COARadio.com. You can hear this show in its entirety. I don't know if it got cut off or what with Facebook. But, again, thank you all so much for tuning in. Let me lift that up. There we go. Ooh, there we go. I don't know why I just did that. But,